One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart, steel, and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only so can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. Metal and mayhem will never die. The rituals report he paves his way. Oh, legend in the making, day by day.
Good morning to everybody. Let's get it in this morning. Shout out to every single one of you guys in the Breakfast Club, man. Thank you guys so much for being here, chilling with your boy, man. It is absolutely an honor. Let me tell you something, man. Something that I actually explained in the chat, man. I actually have more people in here before the live stream has even started than I used to, like, for the first 5 years of actual live streaming and having people there concurrently. So I very much appreciate every one of you guys. Every single day I'm humbled in every regard, man. So I very much appreciate all of you guys. If you guys can do me a huge favor, man, and like the video, man, it's the #1 metric of all of YouTube. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed down below, man. We got some crazy topics we always talk about here on the Insane Wheels page, man. Also, if you guys would like, you guys can follow me on my Instagram at BallValveTV, and where I post everything behind the scenes of the show. Vlogging kind of ordeal where I highlight my life and what I do, because I do a lot of interesting shit just the way it is. I'm sorry. And also I have millennial food time. You know what I mean? Like, we have a good time over there, man. And also, if you guys would like a, shout out while we're doing the live stream, we have the donations, not only just the super chats and the super stickers and the channel memberships. Of course, those are all shouted out too. But if you guys would like to donate without having YouTube take 30% cut from your guys' money, we got the, where it doesn't do that at all, 0%. So we got those scrolling at the bottom. I very much appreciate every single one of you guys. And we're going to get it in this morning. We have a good one. Hunter Biden pleads guilty to 9 counts. And we're going to be watching it from both sides. We're going to be watching it from, basically, what I mean by that is we're going to watch Fox and we're going to watch CBS and compare and contrast. You know what I mean? And see if they can, usually the left likes to sugarcoat some things and hide some shit. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. What's up, Married with Paranormal? I see you up in here, Johnny Mac. I appreciate you for being up in here. What up, Barbie? Evil Rick, Rebecca. I very much appreciate every single one of you guys. Shadow, appreciate you, man. Yeah, man, it's gonna be good, man. We got a lot of you guys already in the comment section getting crazy up in here, which is great to see, man. I love to see your guys' opinions, your guys' thought process. This is what makes this show so much fun, man. I truly love it. All right, let's go ahead and get it in. We're going to go ahead and read your comments as we go along here. So this is first off of Fox. The next one we're going to be watching just came out from CBS 17 minutes ago. So we're going to be watching in chronological order. This came out, I believe, Fox's came out 17 hours ago when the breaking news actually happened. But then there's an update 17 minutes ago from CBS. So we're going to play that as well.
Federal prosecutors on the first day of his criminal tax trial changing his not guilty plea to guilty. Let's go to Jonathan.
Good morning,
Hunt.
Tats. I hope your kid's okay,
an
man.
Extraordinary end to what has been a bizarre and dramatic
we do have a chatty
day.
bunch.
In the last few minutes, Hunter Biden has pled guilty to each of those 9 tax-related charges against him, and Judge Mark Scarsi has now set a sentencing date of
You think,
December
Papa?
16th. We are
Maybe.
awaiting Hunter Biden's departure from the courthouse now. It all began with an unusual arrival in that he showed up and was dropped off curbside by Secret Service, when in every other hearing in this case he is...
Real quick, we got to give a shout out real quick. We got Hardwire with the resub over here of the channel membership for the Breakfast Club. Very much appreciate you, man. That is the #1 way you guys can actually support monetarily a YouTuber, is channel memberships. I don't know if you guys know that or not, because we can actually count on that way more than we can like count on views for getting paid. You know what I mean? But I made it as cheap as possible. I made it as $2.99 tier, man. So I very much appreciate you guys for joining the Breakfast Club, man. And also, damn, we got Wolfheim up in the building. Appreciate you, my man. We got our coffee, kind sir. I see that you're getting crunked out with a K. You know, hey, listen, man. Awesome. Appreciate you, man. We got our coffee, man. Hopefully you do too. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, let's go ahead and get this in. This is some crazy shit. What do you guys think already?
Has been driven in to an underground garage. That's when we thought this might be an unusual day. Then Abby Lowell, one of his lead attorneys, dropped the bombshell that he wanted to change his plea, Hunter Biden, to guilty. There was an objection from the Department of Justice prosecutors because they said he was trying to enter a guilty plea while at the same time under what is called an Alford plea.
Oh my fucking God. No way. Oh my God, dude. There is no way. We just got Lee Lance that donated $100 to the Cash App. Holy fucking shit. What? I am fucking losing my shit right now. Are you serious? Dude, thank you so much, man. Like, holy shit. Like, you about to make me tear up over here, dude. God damn. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so fucking much. That goes so fucking far. You have no idea, man. That, holy shit, $100 like $1,000 to me right now. Damn, dude. Thank you.
Innocent. So then there was some back and forth between the two sides. Ultimately, the prosecution were allowed to read the entire 56-page indictment this afternoon.
Yeah, that's right. That's why, Steve.
Judge Scarsi went through each of those 9 charges, said, how do you plead? In each case, Hunter Biden said guilty, and the court chose to accept what Judge Scarsi is now calling an open plea rather than an Alford plea. So bottom line, Hunter Biden has now pled guilty to those 9 tax fraud-related charges, and he will be sentenced on December 16th. The maximum sentence he can receive, 17 years in prison and $1 million in fines. President Biden has said all along,
$1 million in fines too, dude. Holy shit. I mean,
in this case,
listen, for them, that's nothing. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, if I got charged where all of a sudden I had to pay $1 million, oh yeah, dude, you've got me for like damn life. You know what I mean? But you do this to like Hunter Biden. Oh my God, dude. You're talking about dudes that are sending billions and billions across the fucking globe. What are you talking about? Yeah, no problem, dude.
Indeed, in his gun case, neither will he commute the sentence. Of course, President Biden said those things before he decided not to run again for the presidency. So sentencing December 16th, we'll see what President Biden on his way out of the White House in January then does. Greg?
Thank you. Jesse.
Right, thank you. Greg. Judge Janine.
Back to you, Jesse.
Back to Judge Janine, Greg.
What's up, Rabbit? Good to see you.
So he goes in there, and we think we're getting a trial. We're not getting a trial.
That's right, Steve.
What does this do to the judge now? Does this change the way the judge is going to sentence?
Well, look, anytime you get to the day of trial and you have a jury waiting there, usually well over 100 people, the whole ambiance of the courthouse changes.
Good morning, Carney.
Prosecutors
and
are
yes,
on their
good
game.
to see that
Abby
you got your
Lowell
coffee.
should be
That's
on
right.
his game, except Abby Lowell knew that he wasn't going to be trying or defending Hunter Biden. So the issue that is so shocking is
morning,
that
Huggy. Good to see you as well, man.
The prosecution and Abby Lowell had conspired to have this plea deal that had never been done in the history of the Department of Justice to pull the wool over the judge's eyes. Judge saw through it. They were trying to give Hunter immunity in perpetuity, which means forever. And in the end, the judge threw it out. Okay. So now what you've got is they come in and they say, we want an Alford plea. An Alford plea essentially means that you are not going to plead guilty, but you concede that if the prosecution put out all the evidence, you would be found guilty. An Alford plea is very unusual. It is constitutionally
acceptable. What's up, Pitbull? Good to see you over there in London.
It's rarely done in England. In my office, we have 40,000 cases a year. I remember one Alford plea that I took. Department of Justice would not agree to the Alford plea. So the only option for Hunter was to plead guilty to all counts. You don't need anyone's permission to plead
Mike
guilty
Ball
to
on
all
Friday.
counts.
Hey, man, I'm blessed every single fucking day. No joke. Every single day, man. It's even on my worst days, I'm blessed. So I very much appreciate you, Lee, for that like super, super selfless donation, man. I never expect that. I very appreciate you again. Seriously.
And go forward with the sentencing. But there was real bad blood between the prosecution and the defense.
Well, not yet.
You don't do this. When lawyers are trying cases, you don't come in and say,
he's going to go in front of a judge.
And the government says, we're not giving you one.
You guys are going to see what's going on as of lately, what the newest report is here in a minute after they're done talking here. And then we're going to move over to CBS. What they basically spilt the beans 17 minutes ago. And so we're going to go, from before we started this live. Anyways, we're going to get involved in that because there's something that's very interesting he decides to do kind of last minute. You know what I mean?
Didn't do anything for us. We've got no reason to give you one. And so then Hunter has to, plead to everything. Judge will sentence him on December 16th. And I don't care what the judge sentences him to, because in the end, his father, no longer running for president, will most probably pardon him.
Mm-hmm. Who was this Alford guy
right.
anyway?
And that's the whole thing that's the controversy. Is Daddy going to pardon Hunter? And the thing is he's been asked, Biden has been asked, will you pardon him? Will you do that? And here goes, to answer this, Shadow. He says, we're talking about Joe Biden here. He says that he's not going to pardon him. And if he was found guilty, would he pardon him? No, he says he will not do it. Now, who wants to take a poll to see if he gets pardoned? Now, do you think they're going to make a point and not pardon him on purpose and then just pay off the $1 million bullshit that he has to pay, which of course that's going to be easy for him to collect $1 million. And then, you know what I mean? And then have Daddy pay for bail money, you know what I mean? And then you get bailed out. So instead of getting pardoned, you just get bailed out. That's how I see it. I think he's going to get I don't think he's going to get pardoned for this.
Jerk.
Yeah, he was. But, he went down in history.
He sure did.
In perpetuity.
Thank you.
I think he's going to get bailed.
I do. And I want to know if you were aware of this. NPR says
that's right,
Biden
Steve.
kept Trump's tariffs on Chinese imports.
All of them?
Bloomberg,
every single one?
why Biden is escalating Trump's China tariffs. Just to be accurate, want to make sure the audience has all the correct information. Yeah. But let's go back to Hunter Biden, your favorite
What's
subject.
up, GEG?
Yes,
good to see you, man.
Do you believe that maybe there could be a deal and Kamala, if she would win, maybe she pardons so he doesn't have to pardon his son? Would you accept that?
That it's feasible?
Now, that's also a good point. If, Kamala, if that were the case, would Kamala then pardon him? I see that as a very much of a possibility.
I think that's a nice way to finagle out of having to pardon your son.
That's a possibility.
Sure. I don't know. I was trying to process this when I saw it come across the interwebs earlier today.
I know.
As
Jessica's
a parent,
rough.
How difficult that would be if you had the power.
I love the opposition, though. I think it's great.
And you weren't running again, right? That was part of the campaign because
not
Trump
everyone
was out there,
likes
people were saying,
that,
well, he's just going to let him go. And Joe Biden was saying, absolutely not. So I could see a world in which he does lean on Kamala for something like that. Or Kamala just says,
that makes
this is something that's important to me.
That's actually a good observation. And I got to agree that sounds something that I'd bet on. Papa says, I'm betting that he will sit in jail until after the election. It takes the Trump criticism off the table. once the election is over, he is quietly released. That's right. And especially when the media is not looking and it's not hot. Yeah. Yeah.
The administration, the Bidens and the Harrises, or Harris/Emhoff, seem to be very close. It's feasible, but commuting his sentence, I feel like, might be also a way to do it without doing it. Like,
well, he ruled that all as well.
I understand, but it's not
as
severe as
Rebecca. It can work against you for sure.
See it, but that's a tough spot for a dad to be in.
So imagine if Joe Biden was still the candidate. This trial would have been going on as the debate was happening.
Yeah. And I think, back then when Biden was still the candidate, I remember we would talk on this show. I mean, imagine if Trump were to say, don't worry, Joe, I got him. I'll take care of it. Like, I'll pardon him. Like, and that was something that you could even imagine Trump might be willing to do. And so I would ask the same question. I don't know if Kamala would do it, but Trump might do it too at that point. But now who knows? Because, I don't know. That's funny.
The truth is, I'm going to be very honest, Steve. I believe the truth is, for instance, my parents, if I were caught doing something, let's say like outrageous, you know what I mean? I know that my parents would not stick up for me like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I actually did something, they wouldn't like lie. They wouldn't do it. Like, my parents would definitely not do that. They're not going to make any excuse for me. They've told me that straight to my face, that they would never make excuses for me. You know,
this morning I felt like, well, I did say to the lawyer we had on Newsroom, I'm going to ask a dumb question. Can Hunter Biden plead guilty today? The answer is yes, but I'm not a lawyer, so I asked the question. And then a few hours later, he did. So that avoids a messy trial that would have gotten a lot of attention. Maybe not on other places, but we would have covered it certainly, but also social media, all of those clips in and out of court every single day. And now right in the middle of the Christmas holiday season, when Joe Biden and Joe Biden are having all those Christmas parties, you'll have a sentencing. I imagine that Joe Biden probably will 100%. Do something or secure something for whoever wins. Right. Like, he might, if Trump wins, he might say, can you help me out?
That's true, Barbie.
Yeah. Absolutely. While I try to put you in prison.
And think of how many people who get to this place
it's kind of hard when it comes to tax, because then you're essentially stealing from the American people, and that's when people want somebody held accountable at that point. So that's where it makes it kind of, pretty bad. It's one thing when it doesn't affect other people, but when you're literally taking from Americans essentially by doing this, it can get you into a mess for sure.
Have somebody that's the president of the United States, doesn't have any connections, decides to plead guilty, and they know that when they get sentenced on December 16th, nobody's coming to bail them out.
And how are we going to get our vengeance, Greg? I mean, we want vengeance. We want this guy to pay the price. It just looks like he's going to escape again.
Yep.
Well, as you know, Jesse, back in the 90s, I interned for
You don't
Judge
think he's
Wapner.
going to do any jail time, Gary?
Here's how I look at the Alford plea. Essentially, it's kind of pleading guilty while maintaining your innocence. I call it I know what it looks like.
No joke, Steve.
You know, this is what cheaters use. Yeah. There's lipstick on my collar. My boxers are missing. The bra's on the floor. There's a girl under the bed. I know what it looks like, but it's a raccoon. A raccoon got into the house. No wonder Hunter's wife wasn't in the courtrum, because she heard it all before.
I can see that, Steve, for
Essentially,
sure.
When you say you're innocent while you plead guilty, Hunter wants it both ways, which was on his client profile.
Oh, really? Is that actually true, though? Like, if you actually plead guilty, like, will they actually stop investigating at that point? Does that actually happen, or is that what's supposed to happen? I mean, who knows, right?
I said whorehouse. Anyway, I'm still
curious
about
an interesting
the
take.
money.
Yeah.
Like, where did the income come from? Why didn't he pay taxes? He's the smartest guy that Joe ever knew. Did you think he didn't want to pay the taxes because he wasn't supposed to declare the money, or
he paid
what?
them right back.
He didn't.
Yes.
So Sugar Brother paid off.
Yeah. So
I feel that.
There's a
feel
question behind this whole thing of, like, the money was ill-gotten, or he would have paid. Why wouldn't he pay taxes? He had to. He couldn't allow them to find out where the money. And then you can't blame it on crack.
Why not?
Because there's plenty of very successful people who pay their taxes on crack.
On crack.
Friends, they're on crack all the time.
Oh, man. And then the guy who gave him the money to pay the back taxes when they wanted to investigate him, the CIA says
no, you're all
he's
good,
untouchable.
Lee. I totally understand.
Isn't it, Jessica? Also interesting.
I also never want anybody to feel like they're obligated to have to be in the chat if they, you know what I mean? Like, I know people that when they're not feeling good, you know, I wouldn't want to be in the chat if I feel like shit or whatever. You know what I mean? I'd rather just watch or something or just listen. And listen, man, there's zero wrong with any of that, man. So I don't want anybody to feel obligated to have to be here or anything like that. I want you guys to want to be here and when you can, you know what I mean? Absolutely. I appreciate all of you guys.
Biden, when he was asked about the pardon, let's let everybody look back at what he said.
Yes, and if you're on the road, especially, verdict, no I'd rather you watch the road exactly like SMS.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I am satisfied.
Oh, wait. We got to hear that.
A pardon is outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is.
We're going to
replay. Will you accept the jury's outcome, their verdict, no matter what it is?
Yes.
Wow.
And have you ruled out a pardon for your son?
Yes. I am
so
satisfied.
Do you think he's ruled out a pardon for his son, right? And he says that he will accept whatever the court decides. Will he actually accept it? Or is money going to be flowing behind the scenes without anybody knowing? You know what I mean?
That I'm not going to do anything. I said I abide by the jury decision. And I will do that. And I will not pardon him.
Great. I believe KJP, we call her Binder, was asked also as a follow-up, would you commute the sentence, Judge Janine? And he said
no kidding, Steve. That's
very, it wouldn't be
very much
like
Joe
Biden.
Right there. Damn.
He's lies and goes back and forth all the time.
Yeah, well,
so
and it wouldn't be inconsistent for Kamala too to say
Makes
yes,
sense,
no,
Gary.
no, yes.
Right.
But I think what's important to note is that
what's up, Road Rage? Good to see you, man.
When the big money came in, Weiss let the statute of limitations pass.
Yeah.
So he got away with millions. And you know what? This trial
prosecutors
could not have gone forward if
judge
Joe
to
were
reject
running
plea.
for
Yes,
president.
exactly,
Because
Andrew.
the United
Isn't it crazy?
States Attorney's Office was dropping information that they had not originally dropped, specifically the Romanian oligarch. We kept hearing about Russian oligarchs and Ukrainian. Then all of a sudden it was a Romanian while Joe was the vice president. Money coming into Hunter. And I want to just say one thing to answer your question about, you know, he's a crackhead. He didn't know. The truth is that taxes he owed for the years 2016 through 2019 were 1.4 million. And he evaded the assessment of taxes for the year 2018 when he filed false returns.
Yes,
for 2018.
hardwire, 100%. 100%. He'll get a fine and probation. You called it. That's exactly what's going to happen. Guaranteed. I can guarantee that's what's going to happen. If he goes to jail, I guarantee you, or whatever the case is, prison, that he'll get bailed out and that he'll pay the fine. But if he doesn't go to jail or prison, whatever the case is, he'll get a fine and probation. But I really think that this is more likely. The truth is, yeah, it's true.
He knew that was a heavy year. He filed a false return. This guy is scummy. He
True, Rob.
Want to pay taxes.
Very
His
true
father
on that
wants
show.
everyone to pay taxes, but he's smart enough to know how to play the game.
I have no objection to this, and you would be hard pressed to find a Democrat who's defending Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's not on the ticket. Hunter Biden
I got
isn't
some
a public
interesting shit
servant.
that's coming up about this that you guys may not know about this this judge, and I'm gonna explain once we go to the next video, which we're almost done with this. We're gonna go to CBS Next, who just released their ordeal over there, and I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some sauce of who the judge actually is.
He is.
No, but he has always been treated as
he was treated
veil for Joe Biden
because
that they are a mobster.
He got away with
nepotism.
It, and he used his father's business to enrich the family.
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that, because otherwise James Comer would have ever had something.
He doesn't have the Department of Justice to indict. You need the power to indict.
There is no possible way that the amount of Republicans that are on the tail of that story haven't found anything to be able to tie that to Joe Biden.
What are you talking about?
Well, where is the impeachment of Joe Biden? No, this is what it's about, because Joe Biden is the only person that matters. Hunter Biden doesn't matter.
Oh, they're getting saucy over here.
None of it. It doesn't.
Jessica,
Damn it,
might
Jessica.
I say that no one is above the law?
Sure.
because you guys say that all the time.
No one is. And
I think what the frustration is, we just want the same amount of anger and attention devoted to Hunter
Papa.
that was devoted to Donald Trump's kids over stuff that didn't exist. That's all I ask.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God, come on. Oh, they were investigating them over.
The truth be told, Steve, is I can't stand that woman either. I just cannot.
Secret meetings and finances and corruption.
Oh, all the Russian orphans?
The Russian orphans?
Yeah. Well, so Ivanka Trump has double digits numbers of patents that went through. They did meet with Russians. We're going to talk about Russian disinformation and the podcasting and YouTube.
Tell me more about these orphans.
Well, I don't know. Don Jr. would have to let us know about those orphans.
I want to know. I want to know. You brought it up. Well, tell me about the orphans.
That was the. Are you joking? From the Trump Tower meeting, that was the cover. No one else was awake then.
Dana, you know how many years he faces? 17 years and $1 million in fines.
Right. 17 years so far he's facing from these 9 counts. 17 years, which is a pretty big number, actually. You know what I mean? That's a pretty big number, especially for a politician's son, right? But you know what's going to happen.
That's a big commutation.
You know, Sugar Bro was in the back going, something.
I don't know if I'm good for that.
I don't know. I think back to stories that we have heard that the Obama White House was concerned about Hunter Biden's involvement and what was happening. And it was one of the reasons that Joe Biden was encouraged not to run in 2016. And that's why I think you still have some bad blood between the two.
So you got guns, you got drugs, you got prostitutes, you got bribes, you got millions coming from overseas. And this guy's not going to serve any time. That's the problem with the system. And that's why we're running against a rigged system.
No one should be above the law, Jessica.
I know.
Jessica, and your orphans.
And
Hunter Biden leaving court soon and could talk to the media. We'll definitely have that.
All right. So now we're going to go ahead and move on over to CBS or CBN. I'm sorry. I thought it was CBS. It's apparently CBN. So nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and move over there. And this is what's going to make this interesting is this. So rather than a California jury determining his fate, Hunter Biden's future is now in the hands of a Trump-appointed federal judge. So this is off of CBN News. As you can see, guys, I'm subscribed. I'm going to hit that like button as well. So YouTube, I'm doing the right fucking thing over here. All right.
Biden remains a free man for now, and that could change at his sentencing hearing in December.
You're all good, straight.
As John Jessup explains, it may likely include heavy penalties for the president's son.
Although Hunter Biden will no longer face a jury of his peers, his guilty plea means he could face up to 17 years in prison and more than $1 million in fines. Biden
You're asking him about the pardon. Hey, you think your dad's gonna pardon you? He's not, of course, gonna answer that shit.
Answer questions as he left the U.S. District Court in California. But inside, he uttered the word guilty 9 times, pleading guilty to 3 felony and 6 misdemeanor charges on $1.4 million in back taxes he owed, but has since paid. Before the dramatic courtroom confession, he initially tried to enter what's known as an Alford plea, which allows him to maintain his innocence while acknowledging that the evidence likely would lead to a guilty verdict. Leo Wise, a federal prosecutor working on the case, protested, saying, "I want to make crystal clear. The U.S. opposes an Alford plea. Hunter Biden is not innocent. He is guilty." The special counsel's case alleges a 4-year pattern in which Biden did not pay federal taxes, failed to file federal income taxes, and sent false tax returns. In a statement, Biden saying, "Like millions of Americans, I failed to file and pay my taxes on time. For that, I am responsible. As I have stated, addiction is not an excuse, but it is an explanation for some of my failures at issue in this case."
Damn. All right. I'm not going to have him replay it. I'll read it. Again, listen to this shit. He states this, quote, "Like millions of Americans, I failed to file and pay my taxes on time. For that, I am responsible. As I have stated, addiction is not an excuse, but it is an explanation for some of my failures at issue in this case."
Oh shit! Oh shit! Stop the cap! Stop the cap! Stop the cap.
Jesus.
An excuse, but it is an explanation for some of my failures at issue in this case. Biden's attorney telling the court Thursday the surprise decision was made to spare his family from being called in as witnesses to testify about personal details of Hunter's life as a drug addict, like they did at Biden's firearms trial in Delaware. The jury there found him guilty in that case in June.
Hunter decided to enter his plea to protect those he loves from unnecessary hurt and cruel humiliation.
Damn. So that's what they're claiming right there. Interesting.
But his attorney later refusing to say whether Biden will seek action from the president.
Has Hunter spoken to Biden about a possible pardon? Does he expect a pardon? Does he expect jail time, sir?
The White House, after the guilty plea, standing by the president's past remarks in which he said he will not pardon his son.
Hunter Biden's sentencing hearing on December 16th comes a month after his November sentencing on gun charges. The judge in the tax case could take into account that Biden's paid his taxes in full, although the Washington Post reports he will also weigh his felony conviction in Delaware. John Jessup, CBN News, Washington.
Wow, so definitely going to be going in front of a Trump-appointed federal judge. You know what I mean? Like that's a pretty big ordeal. I mean, what do you guys honestly think is going to happen at this point? Do you think that Hunter is actually going to like deal with the consequences of of his actions, or do you think that he's totally going to get taken care of behind the scenes? Of course, whether it's bail, whether it's paying off that $1 million fine, which is no big deal. You guys know that he be able to collect $1 million by snapping his fucking finger. You know what I mean? Especially when you're tied up to, that family. I mean, what the hell? You definitely are, you have a lot more shit on your side than all of us, because if any of us did 1/10 of that shit, we would be facing like fucking life. You know what I mean? Which is kind of crazy. And so Hook Dog says, Mike, look up Harvey Pleads. Case law known as Harvey Rule. A YSL witness took Harvey Pleads and is now testifying to stay out of jail. Wow, dude, that's fucking crazy. That's crazy. Did not know that. That's very interesting. Hardwire says, yeah, suspicious as hell when you plead guilty to not be investigated. Sure makes it obvious you are hiding shit. Yeah, no fucking kidding, dude. No kidding. You're expecting just probation at this point, Huggy? Yeah. They'll take care of him. He won't see a day behind bars. So you don't think even just making a point for the party or whatever the case is, you don't think he will do it? Well, I don't know if he's man enough to actually go to jail anyways. You know what I mean? Like for real. And it doesn't sound like you'd be going to jail. You'd be going to prison. You're facing the feds. So 9 Bidens have bank accounts with foreign cash. 3 are minors. Are you serious, Andrew? How the fuck did you get that information? That's crazy. I think a Trump-appointed judge will be more fair to Hunter than a Biden judge would be to Trump. Oh, I believe that. He'll sit on house arrest until after the election, and he'll either quietly be released, or if she wins, he'll be pardoned. And I very much see it that way as well, Lisa. But yeah, guys, this has been an actual absolutely crazy ordeal. Something that I really didn't expect to happen in the news, but it did. I don't like Hunter, but I don't want to see the guy do time for something like tax fraud. They let non-citizens run wild, so let's do the same for our actual citizens. I agree with that sentiment. Damn, Steve, you're absolutely right. I can't even be mad at that. That's the Fed penitentiary, not even prison. Yeah, that's right. It's a federal penitentiary at that point. Yep, got you, kind sir. I will do my research as well. Hunter in jail with the GB boys. Yep, exactly, dude. Fed time is not bad, other than the time they make you pretty much max out. Yeah, they do max out your time. This is a bellwether election. The gloves are really going to be off next election. Family, friends, even the dog will be fair game. You're right about that. You're right about that. And I very much see a huge division, not only within friends, but family and stuff like that, which is totally not what I would. If you allow politics to separate your family, man, that's on you. You've got an issue. You know what I mean? You got to be able to learn how to work with others and be friendly with others. You have to learn how to do that in life in general. But for some reason, people get fucking extremely fucking nasty with their families, man, and their friends. You know, that's something I do not advocate for. But I very much want to thank you guys for the donations and becoming a part of the Breakfast Club, man. We got Hardwire over here resubbing for his well, now that this is now a second month going into. I very much appreciate that, kind sir. As well as Will Fine with the Swedish $27 over there. I very much appreciate it as well. And we also got Lee Lance, who donated to the Cash App down here and sent in $100 fucking dollars, man. I very much appreciate that. Way more than you guys absolutely know. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, man. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, afternoon, morning, wherever the hell you guys are from. Also, remember this, that we have members only every Saturday morning, 10 a.m., the same time that we go live Monday through Friday on here, but we have a members only live stream for you guys tomorrow morning. It's going to be amazing. We're going to have a great time. Also, don't forget that on Sunday, we have Hardwire going live 2 p.m. EST. So make sure you guys go over there and hang out with Hardwire, man. Much love, honor, respect to everybody. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning in the members only for the Breakfast Club, man. I very much appreciate all of you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Much love.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire.